This video I'm going to be checking out one very cool and, well, I guess special to me, Jeep Wrangler JK that's seen a lot of use and adventures over the years. All right, so let's check it out. So what makes this Jeep so unique or special? Well, I actually used to own it. I got it, it's a 2008. I didn't buy it brand new. I can't remember how it came to be, but someone had traded it in and it had like maybe 7,000 miles on it. So I picked it up in 2008. Immediately took it to California because that's where I was. I actually got it in North Carolina, shipped it out there and started messing with it. So the first thing that it got was a basic budget boost, a set of 35s, and I went on the first ever JK experience. So that was my introduction to JKs real quick. It had some RCVs up front. I think it was a TerraFlex budget boost with some good King shocks. Ran it that way for a while. I think I did Moab on that setup and then ended up doing a small 3-inch lift and 37s, and then eventually it got the lift that you see on it today. So I guess we'll start with suspension lift. So this Jeep has probably the nicest suspension that I've ever had, and that is a EVO Manufacturing, they call it the double throwdown. Now I want to preface this with, I sold this Jeep in 2012 or 2013. So it's been a long time. I had it from 08 to 13. Took it on multiple JK experience trips, took it on Ultimate Adventure, a lot of different things. The guy I sold it to used it, and then he gave it to his son for a few years, and his son really didn't take great care of his young, like, high school kid. And so I'm gonna show you, it's got some surface rust on it now, and it's here at low range because it's gonna get basically all gone back over. So I know in the comments you might be like, what in the world is wrong with this thing? Yes, it's getting revitalized. I didn't know it was gonna be here when I showed up, and I was like, oh man, this is my old Jeep, this is great. So that being said, let's check out. So this is the setup. It's got 12-inch travel, King coilover in the front, and a triple bypass in the back. That's how this setup. It gives you 14 inches of vertical wheel travel. The control arms are actually very high clearance. This is still probably one of the nicer, or maybe the nicest long arm kit you can get for a JK. It tucks everything in really well. In the back, you get very high clearance control arms. It's tucked up super high and tight. The setup for the shocks in the back, what makes it so unique is it's got this cantilever setup. So you get a coilover and bypass, and this allows you to not have any shocks going through your cargo area, which is really novel and kind of groundbreaking for the time for the Jeep world. 14 inches of vertical wheel travel. I absolutely love this setup. That's basically the suspension how it's been on for, you know, many years. It's roughly what I would say is probably around 4 inches of lift. It just came in and got a new set of tires, so it's running a 37 by 1250 R17 Nitto Trail Grappler. These are the old slab bead locks I've had on there, or I bought a million. Actually, these are the ATX ones. So you don't even, this company basically doesn't even exist anymore, but KMC is who you get essentially the same bead lock through now. So 37 1250 R17, it's a 17 by 9 with 3.5 inches of back spacing, so it definitely sticks out a good little bit. Really stable. I always had factory flares. I kind of like the sleeper setup. Since I've owned it, it got these aftermarket flares put on. This is one of the newer things. This is the EVO corner armor, which supports the EVO rear bumper tire carrier setup. This is probably one of the only rattle-proof tire carriers you can get. It's got the EVO D-ring mounts in the back. I actually had someone, so when I had it, I had the stock rear bumper, again, kind of going for more of a sleeper look. The exhaust was routed, which is kind of a wild maze to get through all this cantilever system. I had someone do that, a guy named Ashley here locally in Wilmington years ago, and it's still kind of sitting the same way. So that's one of the things that they did. For me, for climbing, I've always been if you can put the spare tire in the back, you can. With the 37s, they fit really well. So that part of it's really good. The drive lines have been upgraded. It's got JE reel drive shafts in it. The rear axle and front axle are still the factory Dana 44s. Not a lot were done to them. I remember after going on JKX in 2011, I blew all the factory ball joints out, so we put a set of Dynatrac ball joints in it. So it's got Dynatrac ball joints, RCVs. These are sleeved, and the C gussets have been reinforced. One thing I did not have, they ended up putting on this Jeep, is it's got a hydraulic assist steering system from PSC Motorsports now. It does have the EVO drag link flip on it. Sway bar disconnect is still intact there. I did do the EVO front bumper. This is their 1/4 pounder, and one of my favorite winches that you cannot get anymore, which is the Warren power plant. So this has got an air compressor built into it, and I hate that they went away. I want to say all of this was US made, and then they didn't work with that company anymore, and that was that. Truck light LED headlights, fantastic for the time. Still the stock 3.8 liter V6 under the hood. Same 48, I think it's a 48 RE transmission. It's been a while. They just had that rebuilt. Never really did much on the interior mods. Matter of fact, I had a soft top. They put this hard top on it later after I had it. The armor for it, I did the EVO weld-on sliders. The skins they added a little bit later. One of the funny things when you do weld-on sliders, the body mount still moves and your body will slam down onto this pretty easily. That's just one of those things. They did the aftermarket hood. I can't remember the company, but looks good. I don't know, I like it. Trying to think of the other big things. This Jeep, for the most part, was never meant to be, I wasn't trying to do anything other than just wheel and have a basically fun daily driver. This suspension setup really allowed it to go faster than I ever thought I'd be able to go in a Jeep. But it worked well, and you know, it's still not super tall. Obviously, you can see from the video, it's got a lot of surface rust on it there. It needs to be just kind of refreshed. I mean, these things are, it's a 2008, so even by today's standards, it's getting, you know, pretty up there. The miles aren't too crazy. I think it only has like 90,000 miles on it, but that's just, you know, one of those things. Well, I hope you enjoyed that blast from the past. It definitely needs a little TLC, but my buddy Skip Lennon has assured me that it's going to get it. It's really neat to see something for me that really treated me so well. Multiple Ultimate Adventures, JK experiences. It was my first JK, which evolved into a lot of other JKs, and such a cool platform. Really neat to see it still alive. If you got any questions, just drop them in the comments. If you want to see what I'm working on behind the scenes, you can always give me a follow at all social media platforms at Mansour Editor. Until next time, hope to see you on the trail. Take care.